Heyo guys. How are you guys doing on this Monday? It's less intense for me this week than it was last week. So, you know what? I'll take it. Day job's a little calmer. I'm taking some time off this weekend. So, taking Friday and Monday off. But I do still anticipating streaming next weekend or next week, next Monday. We will be back in town by that time. Just, I will be off that day because I took it off. Yay! We're gonna go take a road trip to Atlanta. We're gonna go to IKEA, and buy some furniture. So I'm gonna be upgrading my setup here, as well as getting a new TV stand because my little TV stand that I have now is kind of sad. So yay for improvements and nice things. And then we're just gonna like buy a lot of food and random junk. So I'm pretty pumped about it. So I actually went ahead and kind of finished this piece. As far as like shading and highlighting and stuff goes, if you see. And then I'm gonna start trying to maybe finish this guy up with like finishing up some stuff here, like adding some textures and things. And then I'm going to import it into Affinity Photo, I believe, to kind of finish up some stuff as well. So that is what we're going to be working on today. Okay. So if you guys see some very basic kind of texture things I've added, just playing around with some things. I think I'm going to add something in the sky back here to add a little texture, as well as probably the bushes. Let's see here. Alright, we're just maybe start with the bushes. Grass. I called it grass, not bushes. Well, I do kind of, if you see very generally, I might up it a little bit more. You guys can see it. I've been playing around with, mainly just like junk mail. You know, sometimes on the inside of junk mail, they have really interesting patterns on the inside of them. So I've just been, I had a professor in college who was like gathering these things, like found materials for her mixed media kind of collage work. So kind of using that idea to maybe translate it to, might try a different texture instead. Let me see, I just took one. We had a Nielsen marketing mailer come in or whatever, and they actually put like $5 cash. Actual cash is not covered in anthrax. I made sure to Google it. So if you get those, open them, there might be a little bit of money in them. And you don't have to do anything else. You just get a couple of bucks or a $5. So that's kind of neat, kind of cool. Let's see. I don't think it brought over my texture. Let me go to my photos on my phone. I'm going to import it. Airdrop it. So you guys see it showed up. Cool beans. So I'm going to import that. Did it? Yes. Yes, I want to select yes. Okay. Or we're gonna get out of that just a bit. Okay. I love when your iPad just kind of decides to, you know, crap its pants a little bit. So we're gonna restart it. Alright, nope, wrong thing. Original stuff. I've already started the sketch for the next piece that I'll probably start next week. Alright, we're going to insert a photo. Ooh. I really like that. It does feel very kind of weirdly that, so we don't see. Let's see. I think I've been trying color dodge, green lighten. I usually do something like overlay or soft light. Might actually do this like multiply. And then maybe what I can do is do some adjustments. I'm gonna completely desaturate it, lighten it up maybe a little bit more. Oh. And then I'm going to back it down a bit. Hey Karen, yeah! Finish up work. Day job comes first. Thanks, babe. Been working hard. How have you been? I'm gonna actually going to bump that up just a bit. This maybe a touch too much. I wonder. All right. Okay. So for that moment, I like that. I'm gonna delete this for now. I like the feel of that, and then I'm gonna do something in the sky here. As you see, I did kind of like this very soft gradient in the background in my layers here. I'm also going to add, let's see. And now let's see, I know I did male textures. I'm gonna try this. Yeah. Kind of interesting and fun. We'll go with it for the moment, just how it turns out. Alright, and then I'm gonna do to this. Yeah, that sounds like us last week. We had a really big presentation last week. And I've been able to concentrate on my like one thing, which has been super nice. Been having to do like wireframes and mock-ups for our next client project, or the next phase of it. And we're finally getting to a point where it feels like everybody's like, okay, cool, we're cool with this. So it's been a big relief. We love that. We love that when clients have like nothing to say. So they'll just let us do our jobs, please, for the love of God. It's going to be a little more stressful next week because next week is my first year anniversary at this place. And so I will have my year review. So I'm anticipating it will go fine. But my previous boss just got like blindsided by hers. And so, and I think that's like kind of one of the reasons she eventually left. So that just concerns me a little. I do have more chill than she does. And I think that will be to my advantage. But God knows. God knows. So let's see. This is kind of fun. So play highlight. Lighter color. That's kind of fun. Color linear burn. Color burn. That feels kind of nice. Darken multiply. Let's try this darken color. No, wait. Linear burn, was it? No. Color burn. That feels kind of nice. So I'm just going to play with this opacity a little bit. I think that kind of helps. Former boss, yeah. It's cool. I think she is happier where she's at now. I think she's not necessarily a boss now, so I think she just kind of gets to just stay in her lane and do her damn job. So, you know, I love that for her. I'll actually see her in a couple of weeks when we're both going to Dragon Con together. So that will be fun and interesting. I think the people I'm going with are going to be shocked by how much of a granny I am. So, yeah. Just be like all you youngins wanting to stay out and do stuff. I appreciate that, Karen. Oh, appreciate that, Rachel. Yes. Hopefully this review will go good. Maybe it'll just be like, yeah, you're chill. You know, just maybe be, you know, less of an anxious person. And I'll be like, what you mean be less anxious? It's just who I am. But, you know, just like, yeah. Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about the Dragon Con stuff. I had a call with them last week. They were just kind of giving me some of the DL. And there's like a bunch of podcasts and like a Facebook group I can like so just lurk in. So I'm probably gonna just like inundate myself. Figuring out if I want to cosplay or not, considering it'll be my first time. Because we're flying. So I don't know if I kind of want to. Yeah, I will need probably my one good glass of whiskey to send me off of bed. Do you guys remember Kelly? Like, oh my god, and she had her grandma who's like, have some whiskey, honey, it'll make you feel better. Yeah. Honestly, I would pretty much have to die to be less anxious. TBH. Completely agree. So, I think I might do some stuff in the buildings as well, just to add a little, because everything else starting to get a little more texture, so I think the buildings. I've been like thinking about doing some like casual cosplays. I've been thinking about doing like a really casual Hal, but steady hands not having several of his Hal pieces in stock kind of throws a wrench into that plan for me. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just get the sweater vest. And it's like, psych, no sweater vests. I'm like, maybe the button up. Psych, the button up's on pre-order. It's gonna be 3+ months till he gets it. So maybe not a Hal. I may or may not do a Gintoki, casual Gintoki Sakata from Gintama, because I do have all of that. I just have to style the wig. Crying. But I don't know. I hear there's just going to be a lot of people. You have to be kind of careful. It's pretty hot, you know, because it's friggin' September, early September, so we're still not done suffering yet. So I just may keep it kind of chill and just, you know, wear all my nerd merch and cry over everybody else being really cool in cosplay. And then if I decide to go back next year, to much better plan for those things. So we will see. Let's see here. We're going to... Now these, I might... I have some of these texture brushes. That could be kind of neat. If I go to that gray color. No, because then it... See if I can... Driver color links, light screen, color dodge. Yeah, that's also what I'm feeling here, and I think just especially this being my first go around, just kind of figuring out what's going on, like how much I want to do. And honestly, I think about how quickly being in wigs overstimulates me. So I can't imagine I'd probably just like literally melt into oblivion. And I think Thursday, from what I understand, is kind of the roughest day for temps, mainly because everybody's trying to get their badge. And everybody's trying to get their badge inside. And so it can get really uncomfortable with the amount of people and the amount of people generating body heat. So let's see. Okay, this is kind of more street. Maybe that will... That's kind of neat. Earbird. That was a little too subtle. Yeah. So I might just like bitch out this year. Not do cosplay. Just wear all my t-shirts and then just like cry over everybody else. I think that might be the move. Because I'm like, damn, if one of my cosplay ideas is already kind of falling apart, and I was like, man, I could probably do like a casual Dante cosplay because I kind of have some pieces I think would work for that. But it's also like mostly leather, mostly pants, lots of black. I don't think that's gonna fly in early September in Atlanta. So I would probably wait until like December, maybe, to do one like that. Not this one either. A little too much. I do have re-downloaded all my texture brushes. No, not all of them. I have quite a few more. TBH. That's true. That is a good idea. Aaron, that is a good idea. But I think this is the one thing about the Gintoki one. Like, I'd love to be able to bring my, like, have a, like, a prop, sword. Prop sword. There we go. Because I feel like that would be like, oh, yeah. It's that guy from Gintama with his weird wooden sword. But then if I don't have it, I don't think I'll be as, like, obvious what I am. So I might just go. Just go. I do have that really cute, I bought a Psyduck hoodie, like a cosplay hoodie. It would probably be way too hot, but it is very cute, and I can just like throw the hood on and all. Just to be like, ah, sigh, haha. I'm cute, ha 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 ha. And I just love that stupid little guy. I'm glad he's gonna be one of the main characters in that Pokemon stop motion film that they're bringing on, or series that they're bringing on Netflix. If you guys don't know, I'm a big fan of YAAAAAAY. If you guys haven't seen the stop motion on Netflix, I do at some point am gonna do Con Mom cosplay. I just feel like I need to be in a place where I can actually pack a big purse for Con Mom. I'm gonna be flying, so I gotta be able to keep my luggage kind of clear for all the merch that I'm gonna buy. Maybe it won't go too crazy, but we'll see. I could go a little crazy. Well, I just hear there's so much stuff that it's just like you're just so overwhelmed with all the things. Start with a come on, there we go. And that one's too subtle. Okay, so maybe that might be a little better. You can kind of build it a little bit. That might be too much. Oh, so Rachel Con Mom, I'm kind of basing it off of like Cooking Mama a little bit. Like she's got the cute little like bandana in her hair. But it's basically just like, you know, your person who's kind of your designated con mom. She's the one with all the stuff in her purse, making sure that you drink water and eat good food and, you know, are staying on your budget. Your mom friend, but in con mom form. So I've always joked that I was going to do a con mom cosplay, and it just hasn't quite happened yet. But I do definitely need, like, room for the big purse. They told me that there's a lot of folks who like to do, like, cosplay fairies. I'm like, nah, we gotta do con mom. Okay. Let's do murder colors. One of these days I will find a texture that brings me happiness. This could be kind of fun. I can add I just add a different color on top of it. Yes, I would not pass out my really good liquid IVs, but I drink the ones that have the vitamin C and like all like vitamin B and all that stuff. Because I learned that I have, you know, low vitamin B and, you know, all those other fun things. Just another comorbidity of having other endocrine problems. Diabetes, yay! So I drink those every day to kind of keep me from having to take the shots as much. Because she's like, yeah, you can just give these to yourself. And these needles are, you know, I deal with needles very regularly now. But those just do not set well with me. And so I just drink those instead. And my vitamin B levels are like way more normal. Yay, we love that. All my other numbers were looking good. So we love that. I try to tell myself that I'm having my body's falling apart now. This is my midlife crisis now. So by the time everybody else is having their like body fall apart midlife crisis, like I've already kind of gone through mine, and I'm like relatively well adjusted. So I will just be a beacon of hope, maybe. One could hope. Or I'm just gonna be like, it's not that bad. I really need for you to like calm down. Don't go buy the Lambo. Okay, seriously, don't do it. Calm down. It's not that bad. Just get your stuff in order. Take better care of yourself, damn you. Color touch. It's darken a little bit. I don't like that one either. It's too uniform. But yeah, I actually really do enjoy the liquid IVs. We go out to a restaurant, I'm usually just like throwing one into my water. You gotta have some flavor, you know? Let's... Rusty toe. We're gonna try this one. Okay, this one, yeah, you can kind of build this one a little bit. So let's see. Big darken. Might be 2. Multiply. Bird. Color, really soft light, hard light, linear light, pen light. Go back. We'll hang out with this one. That would actually be kind of what it feels like sometimes, Rachel. Yeah. Like, are you guys taking good care of yourself? I had coworkers, they went to like one of our big industry conferences. And I was like, y'all buy yourself some of those liquid IVs. Get up in the morning, drink one. I think most of them came back sick. And I was like, I told you. You gotta be taking your vitamin Z, your D, your zinc. You gotta boost that immune system before you go places like that, which I'm actually gonna probably here within the next few days, probably go ahead and buy extra vitamin D and zinc to start the immune boosting regimen for Dragon Con, because I am not getting con crud if I can absolutely help it, because it's the worst. And it always takes me out. So I'm like, we are not doing that right now. We're gonna be so healthy. Club won't even be able to handle me. So healthy. Probably. Club wouldn't be able to handle me because I wouldn't be able to handle the club. So I'm gonna call the texture. I might back that grass texture down just a little bit more. It feels a little slightly aggressive still. Aggressive like me, for real, for real. And then I am gonna back down building a touch, I think. That feels a little better. Yeah, we're not doing con crud. And the double whammy of like summer colds, which are probably legitimately worse. Oh, how are you feeling about Hellsing Ultimate? Karen, I would watch some of that with you. I watched up to episode 4. It's insane. I don't dislike it. It's just so much is happening. And I just don't know how to feel about it. But I'm just like, I don't know how much I could just like mentally and emotionally handle this by myself. So if you just want to let me know when you make it to like episode 5, I will like come over and watch some of it with you. We can drink a little bit to help with the pain. But also, I will say Crispin Freeman as Alucard is like so good. That was such a good casting choice. He's fantastic as Alucard. But that show is just on its fuck shit, dude. Wow. But, I mean, love a man in a red coat, so it's just one of my... Oh. Where are you at? So, Rachel, Hellsing Ultimate is... They had a anime in the 90s that was just regular Hellsing, and I think they kind of combine. So the episodes are like an hour and a half, and there's like 10 of them. Yes, the police girl. Saris. Oh yeah. I don't know if it gets much better, but I feel like you gotta meet Father Anderson. I have seen some of the like abridged series, and the second episode and the abridged is not very different than the second episode of the actual show. The dialogue is not exaggerating very much at all. It's kind of insane. They really let them go crazy for that dub. And it's kind of wild. It's super violent, insane, just over the top madness. I mean, I also find it kind of hard to hate Alucard. I don't know what his deal is yet. We haven't really gotten to his deal yet. But he's just like, oh my god, yeah. The man is not about his Protestants, or shitty things that go bump in the night. He is on the Lord's mission. He's insane, but we appreciate that about him. I am just a Protestant pig to this man. Honestly fair. But yeah, it's... I think I finished episode 4. So I think up to episode 4 is kind of like... they're kind of building up the story, and then everything after that is just the fallout. So I think it just gets more insane somehow. But yeah, I finished that 4th episode and I was like, whoo, dog, I need a break. This is a lot. And I just haven't returned to it. So yeah, Rachel, if you just need something to... you're just like, I just need to watch... if you've watched any of Castlevania, it's like Castlevania on crack. And meth. And bath salts. I think that's a good way to put it. Like, at least Castlevania is like, it's relatively serious. There's a lot of character growth. There's a whole story. Crackersvania. Yeah, honestly. But y'all really need to finish season 4 of Castlevania. I need some other people to talk about it with. I need to talk about it, y'all, please. End my suffering. I even told Haley I would start it over with her. She just needs to watch it. I just need people to know. Yeah. My descriptions aren't always... Oh, Joe. I'm glad you're one of us. I have a Trevor figure. My bro Kenny got it for me. I will absolutely fight folks that Isaac's redemption arc is better than Zuko's. I will get in a ring with somebody about it. Like, I will legit, like, let me like try to gnaw your arms off with my face. His redemption arc's better. Thank you. Thank you. He just... I haven't completely suffered alone. I think Mike... Pretty sure Mike's watched it with me. I know Kenny's finished it. Because we've also discussed it. So Rachel, you and I will have to sit and I'll just be like, oh my god. Be more specific, Aaron. Isaac's the black guy? Yes. He's like genuinely so awful in season 2. But he becomes genuinely one of the most interesting characters in that entire series. And probably one of my, like, I'd probably say even like top 5 like favorite characters of all time. Just like becomes such a cool, interesting character. He's, yeah, they're all pretty hot. I'm still just real shook. They got Bill Nighy to play Saint Germain. I love Bill Nighy. He plays a bunch of weird shit too. See, I'm gonna be real honest. I only started watching Castlevania. I was like, vampire stuff. And it has Richard Armitage, who plays Trevor, who is probably one of my favorite period drama actors. If y'all have not seen, I got called out real hard in the Barbie movie about watching Pride and Prejudice as a comfort show. First of all, the show's fantastic. I don't want to hear it from anybody. But Richard Armitage plays in one called North and South, which he is Mr. Thornton. Y'all. That man is so fine. So fine. Anyway, anybody ever wants to watch that with me too, please let me know. I will be more than happy to watch it with you. Okay. I think I'm finished with this at the moment, so I'm gonna start exporting things in pieces. So I'm going to export this as a JPEG. I'm going to save it. Save image. Yes, girl. Richard Armitage is Trevor. That's why I have a figure of him. But also, I just love Trevor so much. The man is the least powerful person in that show. It's just, compared to Sypha and Alucard, just so horrendously overpowered, like underpowered. But that man is trying his best, and I love him for it. Sky on grass fence. Xbox Sun stickers. Alright, I'm going to buy these two. PNG. Save image. Alright. And then the guy. He's just a little guy. Yeah, honestly, his go-go gadgets. I mean, he came in pretty hard at the end of season finale. I'll give it to him. I thought that was kind of a nice, like, full circle kind of moment. He's just like, yeah. Fighting the big bad, just me. It's chill. Save image. Alrighty. Pull this up in Fendi Photo. Let me look at the, I should have looked at the 2160 2700. Da, 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 da. Do, 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 2160. I should have paid better attention. 2700. Actually, I'm gonna. Yeah. Alright. Let's see if I actually set these files up correctly when I. Alright. Leave place from photo. Next. I know, I'm trying to think, what is that? You're talking about Go-Go Gadgets. Oh my gosh. Is it Spectre Gadget I'm thinking of? And he also had that, like, fire theme song that I cannot remember. Do you guys remember the, like, really bad live-action version of that? I haven't thought about that movie in ages. What is the... I can't think of that. I remember, you know, the weird thing is I remember seeing it in theaters. Which is... like, whoa, that would have been like 99 or 2000. Maybe earlier. Just crazy if one thinks about it. Like, I would have been... Yes. Yeah, and I don't think I remember watching the show before the movie came out, and then we would just randomly watch the TV show. It's just weird how you think about those things sometimes. I'm going to duplicate this layer. I haven't used... Oh, yeah. Do y'all remember... Okay, another really weird, random memory that I have of, like, McDonald's... Honestly, it does sometimes. Do y'all remember the, like, weird promotional straws for the Tarzan movie? And, like, you could use the straw and it would make, like, the Tarzan noises. I had one of those. I still remember seeing Tarzan in the theaters with my parents. Kind of weird fever dream stuff, right? But I don't know why. I just distinctly remember us going to McDonald's and I got to get one of the straws and it was Tarzan and it did the Tarzan yell. Amazing. I remember being like, yeah. Those were the days, though. That was when McDonald's still gave out, like, the good stuff in their Happy Meals. Which, to this day, Tarzan's still one of my favorite Disney movies. Clever. I think it's Glenn Keane. He also did Treasure Planet. And then, like, you know, his styles, like, influenced most of the movies since then. But yeah, it really was a simpler time. We didn't know what taxes were. We didn't have to go get our oil changed. We didn't have to go to the doctor at least once a year. We didn't have to self-diagnose on WebMD. Just, what a time. What a time. Okay, I'm trying to remember how to... I haven't used this app. Yes, they did. Could you see if you could find a video of the noises that they made? But yes, I can smell the greasy, salty plastic right now. Like, I can smell it. It's insane. No. Merge down. We want to do layer. Aha. You'll have to. Yeah, you didn't have to call the plumber to get the 3 of 5 6 fixed. Have you finally gotten your plumbing situated, Karen? I think this one will need to be rasterized. Because I'm going to overlay that board. You go back here to Procreate and find out what that color is. I do that one. Value, here we go. Copy. Ugh. Aha! You gotta drop the link. Rachel, you gotta drop it. I gotta relive these times. Alright. My latest panel. Yeah. And then I'm going to stir just a little bit. Oh, not having to replace the water heater care. Oh my god. Oh. Yes. God. That took me listening to that, the Tarzan one was like, oh my god. It just like scritched my brain. It was great. Thank you, Rachel. I needed my brain scritched. That was fantastic. I forgot they had the weird golf commercial too, like. And honestly, like, Tarzan just looks like he's on crack, man. Like, oh my god. Okay. No, we do not want to do styles. You want to change the layer. Yeah, there's good. Turn off. Thing. Yeah, don't let it explode, Karen. That would be genuinely. But yeah. I didn't realize my parents had to pay extra for the straw, but I'm sure glad that they did, because that was one random formative memory that I have. Aha. Finally. Down to like maybe scooch it up just a little bit more. Okay. For the moment, that feels fine. I'm also going to duplicate this one as well. Okay, and duplicate. Yep, they loved me enough to spend the extra $1.50 on the Tarzan straw. I should probably tell them all about this, like, weird remembrance that I'm having right now. Like, we were talking about, like, movies we remember seeing in the theaters as kids, and I remember seeing How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey one. And I remember that just being, like, one of the weird, random, actually cult days in December when it came out. Yeah, good times. Good times. I think this one, I'm going to also I'm going to, what is FEF 9F4 F9F4. Yay. I'm sure somebody has that straw somewhere. And I'm sure somebody has one that works. That would be kind of amazing. I think it had something you could like take the batteries out and put new ones in. I feel like it did. But we've like moved a couple of times since I had that straw, so we probably don't even have it anymore. Which is like kind of sad. TBH. Alright. Outline. Okay, that is too much. Oh my gosh. That would be so cool if you actually found one, Rachel. That would be amazing. I just would be beside myself, I think, if you just happened to find that. That'd be amazing. It needs to be like a little bigger, but not that big. Just like, what are the odds, right? Like, you wouldn't even have thought about that. Like, if you saw that, wouldn't have even thought about it, wouldn't have even been a thing. And then I've had this conversation with you, you're gonna be like, oh my god! Weird how things work out like that. I think this guy I'm also going to do a color overlay. I'm going to just... Can I copy? Two. 7. 2. Oops, no. Multiply mode. Let him move him. And oh no. How much is it? God. $30. I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of tempting. Because you can get the whole set. Just goes from $150 to $10 a straw. I wonder if anybody actually pays $30 for that though. I see some for like $20. Free shipping. $15.99 with $6.65 shipping. $18.88 with free shipping. I mean, yeah, but the joys of inflation, indeed. Let's see here. Okay, go back to this layer. E492. Cool beans. Oh. We want it to be normal. We can creation of what? Wow, this has so many filters. There we go. Then it just immediately change it. E4 9 7 E2. Oh, yay! Don't you know though, Bommy, I know what I have. Okay, and then he is gonna need to be a multiply layer. I think I had to set it like different. I might duplicate it just in case if this does not work as intended. Yeah, I mean, we're all having to pay up for nostalgia on a very consistent basis. The one area of nostalgia that they have not paid up for that it would happily pay up for is Switch ports of a couple of the Zelda games. So Ocarina and Majora's, and I would kill for another Twilight Princess one. Twilight Princess is my favorite Zelda. Yeah. Got a freaking Skyward Sword one where they had to rejigger everything, and they already did most of the, like, especially with Wind Waker and, Twilight Princess, they already did a Wii U port with the touchscreen. I feel like it really would not be that much of an extra lift to just port it to the Switch. I would pay $60 a pop once again for both of those. To have the convenience of playing it on my Switch, damn it. But that's another story for another day, I guess. I guess Nintendo just doesn't want that money. That free, easy money. How are we feeling about this so far, y'all? I wonder. How do I pick colors? That's a fun, interesting question. Sometimes I'm just looking at, like, pictures. Zelda. How do I pick colors is there's really not a very well thought out or wonderful process. Kind of some of it is just picking and pulling from other kinds of palettes that I like. If I see pictures, I like save them and I like kind of play around with those in like a document or something, and then I just kind of like, okay, I like these colors, and then it's just kind of putting them beside the other colors and figuring out kind of, sometimes you like put something and you're like, that green's not quite right, it needs more blue or it needs more yellow or something like that. It's not very scientific or great, but tis what it is. My favorite Zelda boss. It's like asking me which limb I want lopped off or who my future favorite child is. TBH. I have a couple, I guess, like, I have a couple of standout ones. I really liked the Argarok dragon boss from Twilight Princess. It's one of my favorites. I also really like the... What's the weird skull thing that you had to do in the Arbiter's Grounds? It's like the big skull monster. I don't know why I just like that one a lot too, but also like weird dragon-esque monsters. I always enjoyed fighting Dark Nuts. Hey, I will probably go back to a like bichrome monochrome phase. Let's see. I feel like I've forgotten like every Zelda boss I've ever fought. I really liked, even though Skyward Sword's kind of a hot mess in many ways. Yes. The one where you're like on the pirate ship and you're fighting that big weird tentacle monster. I really enjoyed that one a lot. Let's see. I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of Breath of the Wild. Maybe it was just when it came out for me. But I did really enjoy the dragons. I just have a thing for fighting dragons, apparently. I really liked fighting or I wouldn't say fighting them, it's kind of like honestly, Arbiter's Grounds is probably one of my favorite Zelda areas in the entire franchise. I love Egyptian mummy shit. So Arbiter's Grounds was like right up my alley. I was like living, even though I kept, you know, sinking in the sand a bunch, which was super annoying. But love anything that's like weird Egyptian sand stuff. Like, not necessarily a huge fan of Persona, but like Futaba's Palace, which is like kind of Egyptian themed, is one of my favorites. Oh yeah, the rock bird. You just yank on his tail. Or that's Baloo's tail, right? I have Twilight Princess HD on my Wii U, Karen. Yes. Honestly, the big Poe ghost in Wind Waker. It's probably one of my favorite bosses. It's just stupid and silly and so much fun. Let's see. I feel like I think it's Vati, the Vati final boss in not A Link to the Past. It's one of the 4 seasons, 4 oracles, I think. I feel like I like that one a lot. Yes, girl, I got it in HD. I have my 4K TV now. It probably looks horrible on that 4K TV, but I got it. Speaking of, I played a little bit of, I think I may have played a little bit of Link to the Past. I bought Link's Awakening for the Switch when they kind of remade it. I was having a great time, but then there's just like one boss I couldn't get past, and then I just stopped playing it. It was just a weird... I don't know. I could rant about it, but I think some people would just be like, LOL, get good. Ocarina of Time is another one of those games, like, if I could play it over again for the first time, I would do it in a heartbeat. Like, randomly forget that I played it and play it again for the first time. A couple of those like Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time when I was playing them was so formative for me. Yeah. A lot of love for those two games, obviously. Yeah, that's something I would like. Twilight Princess. I could do, at one point, I could do the water temple. Just, yeah. And then Wind Waker. Now that I'm older, I remember when I first started playing Wind Waker earlier, I wasn't like a huge fan of it because I thought it was like too cutesy. But like now that I'm an adult, like it's so bright and colorful, and like there's just something about it that it just captured the essence of something. And I don't know if, to me, if Nintendo will be able to like quite capture that again. I mean, it still looks so good. You can't tell me that Wind Waker doesn't still look good. Like, I mean, I had it on my Wii U. I had the remaster, the blah blah blah, whatever. And honestly, it still looks so good. It's so unique and interesting, and I really need to play some of the handheld titles that came after that. That's kind of a thing. I haven't really played a lot of the handheld titles, and that would be something I need to go back and do that. I do have my 3DS. I don't know if it still works. I like picked it up and it was like making some weird rattling noises. I was like, that's probably not So yeah. Yeah, Zelda's one of my favorites. I probably will at some point. Just, I think I've told Emily, just so she, when she was reading my fanfic, she's like, I don't understand any of its lore. And I'm like, fair. Same, TBH sometimes. That I would probably replay some of the Devil May Cry games on stream. Just so she kind of understood the lore. And I'm like due for a replay. I keep having the itch to play 5 again. Randomly, aside dopamine purchase I got today, you guys can't see it. I got the Devil May Cry 1 soundtrack on vinyl. So it was a 4 LP set that had a special pressed vinyl that's like color vinyl. And each of them have like their own sleeve, and it's got like all this art. It's got art on it. And I don't own a record player. But I was like, you know what? This is cool. The DMC5 one is already sold out, which is really sad. If you guys have not listened to the Devil May Cry 5 soundtrack, so good. Like, genuinely. Oh, I have not played the Cadence of Hyrule. I've been really wanting to, but I do enjoy rhythm games. I was drum major in high school, so you just kind of like, you just learn it. You just gotta be it. You are the rhythm. It is you. I'm trying to think. My least favorite Zelda. Again, that's asking me like, I've not played Spirit Tracks. I've heard, there is one that's on the Switch, like, it's got the little hat. He's got the hat that's the bird. I cannot think of the name of that to save my life right now. Honestly, Minish Cap, I've heard that one's like actually not that good, even though I've always been curious because I like the cute little guys. I mean, honestly, the first time I tried to beat the boss in Wind Waker on the GameCube, it was really bad. It was so bad. Maybe I'm gonna say something controversial. I feel like Majora's Mask might be my least favorite. Not because it isn't interesting or cool, I just hate having to go back in time so damn much. Like, ugh. Just the fetch sequencing we have to do. But other than but that's just like me personally. I'm gonna say like, oh my god, don't leave, Rachel. I didn't say, it's just, it was the whole fetch sequence part. It's not the game itself. I am all about my weird time travel bullshit. Love that kind of stuff. So that, like, thinking about the Zelda timeline gets me real fucked up sometimes. But yeah, it's just mainly like just trying. And I guess I know, and there's another hot take, real hot take. I wasn't really a big fan of Breath of the Wild. I remember people complaining about how the Twilight Princess overworld was too big, too open, too empty, and they just like blew it up on the biggest scale in Breath of the Wild. And I get it, it's like, oh, it's soft apocalypse, it's quiet, it's a dying world. Like, yeah, please give me more things to do that don't involve me having to find over 120 shrines, 30 horse stables, you know, that random hotbed of, you know, guardians, you know, you're just minding your own damn business and then there's like 50 of them. I hear that noise in my brain and I'm just like immediately like wanting to die. But just too much stuff, not enough, too much world, not enough plot. Is that a good way to put it? Yeah, creep factor, and I guess it's so interesting what I like about Majora's Mask. It's so, there's something about it that's so sad. And just like bittersweet is like one of my favorite emotions. I don't do depressed, but if it's just like something about it that's just kind of sad, I'm just like, and then that's kind of how I feel like Twilight Princess. Like, it's just got this sadness to it that just I love so much. And I think for me too, when it takes you like literally 3 hours to get anywhere in that game, and I've heard people, or I've read some theories and stuff where people think that Majora's Mask is just reflecting the stages of grief. So we're like watching Link trying to resolve his trauma in an interesting, weird way. I do need to let you borrow that sometime, Karen. They had that book where like a bunch of college professors and shit like wrote papers on nerd stuff. They did one for Zelda and Final Fantasy. Great times. I enjoyed them so much. But yeah, the Zelda stuff was like, yes. Still real mad about that hot take, about the one they were talking about, the lack of healers in Final Fantasy 15 because there were no girls on the team, and which is like, you know what, fair. Typically in Final Fantasy, women seem to take a lot of the more like healer roles and stuff like that. But they were just like, well, in Final Fantasy 15 is blah, blah, blah. And they were just like shitting on my boy Gladio. And I was not having any of that. So Gladio's a character I identify with a little too much. Personally. He's just kind of one of those guys. He's like, we got a job to do. We have a duty. We got to keep moving forward. We can cry when we're dead. And it's like, yeah, I get that. And the DLC that they gave him just really did him no favors. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. I don't need to start talking about 15. I'll be on it for a while. It's another one of those just like, I love Gladio. I mean, I love all of them. They're all just, I remember like 10 minutes into this game, I was like, I would literally die for all 4 of these boys. They are my babies and I love them. And then I have the ending of 15. I don't know if I've ever cried like that. I cry a lot, but like cried like that at an end of a video game. And then playing episode Ignis. The amount of tears that were shed. I can't remember. I think at the end of 15, I happened to be at my parents' house. Like I took my PlayStation home for the weekend. I'm in my room. I'm sobbing. And my dad just happened to have like a jar of moonshine in the cabinet. I just like go and I grab it and I'm just like popping open the lid and just drinking it. Because I'm just... ripped my heart out of my chest. 10 out of 10 experience. So good. But, you know. Which makes me think, I did finish God of War. 2018 God of War, not any of the, like, early thousands ones. And it was really good. It was a very thoughtful, nice story with a lot of, like, parallels and symbolism and stuff. And that was really nice. And the graphics are beautiful. And the soundtrack's great. Not a huge fan of that, like, Souls-like way of playing. Like, my brain sometimes would just literally short. Like, how is this supposed to work again? Because there's 2 triggers, and there's a light attack and a heavy attack on both sides, and then you have your action buttons. It was like, blah. So there was some stuff about it that I'm like, I just not a big fan of. But the story was wonderful. And I will probably get Ragnarok in the next couple weeks and feel some more things at some point. Feeling things just to feel things. You know what, I may... Oh no. Okay. I think I'm going to get some paper textures. We're gonna bring him all the way to the top. Oh, interesting. What is Buddy Simulator 1984, Karen? I would like to do... I mean, I bought a Mac, so I don't know if I could really, you know, do the whole indie PC game kind of thing. How are we feeling this paper texture, y'all? Maybe just back it down a little. Here's a couple of... I've heard, like, Emily is Away is a really good... And I think that would be a really fun one to play on stream. Starts out like a simple terminal game where you play things like Hangman, etc., but your buddy keeps improving the game because they don't want you to leave. Oh, that just sounds like social media. Or that episode of, I'm thinking of Gravity Falls. Where Seuss finds that, like, Atome game. And people are telling him not to buy it because they find out that it's actually a sentient program. Oh, interesting. Huh. It's delightfully morbid. I like that kind of stuff. Like Undertale, but slightly more macabre and off-kilter. Okay. I need to watch somebody just play Undertale. I like bought it and then just didn't get very far because I sucked at it. But I like the idea of it a lot. I feel like there was one that Emily and Sarah were telling me about. Misfortune or something like that. And they've been telling me how much they liked that one. Actually, I'm going to... I can, like... I don't know. Yes, Little Misfortune. It's great. Yes, that game is so good. I'll have to give it a check. Check it out then. Because I might do some... maybe a little bit like shorter games here. I enjoy stuff that's kind of off-kilter and macabre myself. So I feel like I'd probably have a good time with that. Again, I want to put it in. Okay, here we go. Alright, alright. Yeah, I would like to do... have a little bit left to be a buddy simulator. Like, okay, that's really not that bad. I would like to do... I kind of want to get back into playing some, like, Atome games and stuff. Fun to go in blind. I'm gonna have to see if I can actually download it and play it on Steam. Last time I tried to download and play a game on Steam, it kept crashing. Just randomly crashing. At the same spot, though. Like, so it must have been some sort of weird bug. Look at that guy. I'm going to move this around a little bit. Yeah, it was The Wolf Among Us. Like, Emily and I were trying to play it together. I did eventually buy it on my PS4 and finish it on my PS4. They will just ever release part 2. I will be happy to give Telltale some money. Gotta play more Daddy Bigby! I think she's done, y'all. I'm kind of at that point. I'm like, I could keep doing things to it. but it's kind of like maybe done is better than perfect, and I should just leave it alone. What do you guys think? Oh, well, it is. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. I think it's like frozen. My video capture is. I've been. Oh. Aha. Interesting. I wonder if it will just... Okay, that's strange. Gotta love a... I've been sitting here doing, like, photo editing stuff, and you guys... That's so weird. Like, not letting you guys see me shrinking it and stuff. So odd. But... I'll show you guys. So, working on the next piece... I think Karen's gonna be like, ah! About this one. So I'm starting the... It might be easier for me to pull up the reference as well. I was like not working on it for a while. I was just talking to you guys. I can't talk and do things at the same time. But yeah, so like here's the original piece that I did with Prismacolors and like Sharpie back in like 2008 probably. I had my lollygoth face, never, like, obviously didn't get to wear it, but I had like a selection of pieces that I did that were just like this. Yeah, I think Karen's seen several of them, so we're going to kind of based on that piece. I'm kind of doing, since I was doing some type of like marionette broken heart, some bullshit. I think my like one middle school boyfriend broke up with me or something, you know. Edgy teenage problems, right? So kind of going for a marionette kind of ringmaster, like our Mother of Many Sorrows, kind of like the Mater Dolorosa imagery. So it's like going with like the I'm gonna get the words out here in a minute. It's Britney, bitch. Yes. But yeah, the things that you stick in people's hearts sometimes, that you stab them with, but it's not a sword, it's a tiny sword. I just can't think of the word of it right. It's just, I'm gonna be like in my bed tonight, sleeping, wake myself up out of a dead sleep and be like, that was the word. Dagger. There we go. Voodoo doll stakes, but I'm thinking daggers. So, kind of this... Thank you. I gotta figure out hands and feet, of course, because... Am I an artist if I don't just struggle, if I don't struggle with hands and feet? So I'm gonna do kind of like some marionette something another-ish thing. I'm gonna figure out how to like add some of this weird fuzzy like full feather trim I was trying to draw, and I was like, of course, I like gotta add the little top hat back. That's pretty dope. And then so kind of thinking of like harlequins. I think I'm gonna do some type of like diamond pattern in the back, just for the background, or maybe some type of like taking that kind of idea and maybe doing like hearts, because I think I'm gonna do, thinking of like votive candles, you know, so you have like Our Lady of blah blah blah, Yeah, so I was just kind of looking at some of these like old art pieces and this artist that I really been liking, and of course I have all the Atelier Bars references that you sent me, Karen. So I think I'm gonna do some type of shoes with like spats. Just gotta find some good spat references because I do love a good spat. Good spats. And so yeah, it's kind of the thinking, the brain behind the thought, you know? So I'm gonna keep working on this sketch, and then hopefully we'll start kind of like doing line art and some of that other stuff next week. So yeah. Thank you guys for joining me this week. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So I will, I guess, probably post. Yeah, we're moving on to the next one. Finally, thank God. I probably needed to do things to move things along just so I'm, like I'm feeling a little less ADHD. I know you guys are probably like, it's chill, it's fine, it's cool with me. But yeah. So yeah, I will talk to you guys next week. Love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.